Hey guys, this is King Cook. I am back, and I am joined today by greykrow. Say hello.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. How's it going? Damn, bitch, you look good.
Just walked into my house and didn't see me here.
I didn't. This is your
That's
house? Wait, where am I?
you know what? I'll
This is
just
your house?
yeah. I mean, you know what?
Oh, I
Since
see.
you're
I see the piss bucket in the corner. Yeah, this is your house.
yeah, since you're here, you might as well take a seat. I'm bored. Let's talk.
I will sit on the piss bucket.
All right,
There
you
we
do
go.
that. So I heard you make music. Oh, let's not start there. Let's start with how we
No,
met.
let's start there. Let's
Okay,
start
let's
there.
let's
You
let's
you brought
start
it up. You
right.
let's go full
Let's
throttle, no
start
brakes,
right
all
there.
gas. I cut the brake lines. Let's get into it.
Had a bad fall from a bad trip. Still falling, but I don't give a shit. And when I pass on the graveyards rip, don't bother praying, keep your mouth shut, zip. Trench coat, white snow, lined up upon the tabletops down low. Get a taste, no drywall, good blow. Another hit to make the mind slow down, whoa. I'm a fucked up, problematic, pessimistic little addict with more than a few complications and psycho habits. What's the pattern to this tragedy? Because honestly, I can't seem to find it, and I'm lost inside a fit of panic. Well, I've been at it, jumping back and forth like a fucking manic rabbit.
You heard correct. I do make music. It's not great, but it's there,
We'll see about that.
and I'm working on it. Like I had dropped two albums and I was not happy with the quality of the first one,
Hmm.
and I was not happy with the themes of the second one. Like the first one, I still hate my voice, but I've gotten more used to it. In that first album, I did the absolute most to not sound like myself.
Okay.
And then the production quality was just garbage because I had just started out. I had fun with it, don't get me wrong. It was in the moment, but like it just I wasn't happy with it. I felt embarrassed by it. And then the second album, the production quality was miles better, but it still wasn't that great. And not just that, I felt like the album was way too serious. Like I was trying so hard to maintain like a super depressing thing, and like as much as I love depressing music and talking about depressing topics in my music, I also kind of was like, damn, I kind of wish I had rapped about more fun stuff.
Did it
So,
did it feel kind of disingenuous, or is it more so like you wish you had just put in more, happy thoughts alongside depressing thoughts, kind of to mix it up?
yeah, and if it was still genuine because like everything I talked about was still like, from the heart and
Hmm.
whatnot. Hey, Gumi. Sorry, I'm drinking right now, so I might burp.
Go for it, dude. We don't censor anything here, unless except war crimes.
So, anyways, mustard gas. No, but
Biological warfare is on the fence. We might allow it.
we might. Okay, all right. Um, what was I saying? Oh, right. It was still genuine, the second album. But like how you said, like I definitely wish that I mixed it up a bit more. Cause like even my girlfriend, she had listened to it when it had first came out and she was like, I like it, but the shit's sad.
Hmm.
And she's like, I didn't expect this coming from you, especially like after hearing your first album, which like even had a song about like dick extension type things. What was it called? I don't remember. It was like I think it was
Fuck
called
you,
like
bro.
Butt Toucher 2000 or something, and it was just like I got a small dick and I want to make it bigger. It's like here's extend dong or whatever. Try it out. It's the product for you. Like that's literally the entire song.
It's an ad read.
Pretty much. It was a two for one too cuz like after that I was like want to have what she's having? Try the Butt Toucher 2000. Stimulate your anus, not just your hardwood. And like that was literally a line in the song and it's just like I miss that.
That's wild.
That was like one of my favorite songs cuz like you would just hear it and it wasn't good, but it made you laugh.
I can see how someone hearing that and then going straight into something like as depressing as I assume something as dark as Ramona or darker, based on what you're saying, would be
Darker.
quite the would be quite the transition.
It
It's
was
like
it was
that's like
definitely darker.
that's like going from Vicodin to like about last night. It's like a huge
Yeah,
transition.
it was a huge transition. It definitely was because like I think I don't know how true this is, but I have a little bit of a following, and one of
I mean, you're
my
verified on Spotify, so
I am. It's crazy. That's a open bracket GREYKROW close bracket. Ray Crow in brackets.
I
Follow
will
me on
make sure
Spotify.
it's very clear in the description.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Out. Um, and I had a fan who I guess they were like answering like random questions on their like Instagram page, and one of the questions was, "What's the song that made you cry?" And he had or they, I think they might be non-binary. I'm not 100% sure. Shout out to them. Sorry if I get your pronouns wrong, but I'm just going with he because last I remember it was he. Um, he had posted like no song really made me cry except for "Flowers for Johan" by greykrow. I'm just like, damn.
You
That was like, that's cool that I made you cry, I made you feel something, but at the same time, it's just like, was it really that depressing? Holy hell.
okay? So I have not heard the first two albums. As I saw your tweet saying all the rap was going to go away. I
Yeah.
assume that's what you were referring to, right? Those two albums.
Yes, that's what I was referring to. Those two are gone. They are forever lost and will never be back.
I mean, like, like under the table, they still exist, though, right? Like,
No, I've deleted most of the files.
all right, fair enough, fair enough. I was
The
gonna,
only thing that does exist, sorry for cutting you off,
no, you're good.
is the original version of Stale Wine, Ruined Lingerie, which is, I think, my latest song as of recording this.
Yeah, when I
Not to
checked
date
it,
it.
yeah, I saw it today when I was refreshing myself. I was like, oh, that's new.
Yeah, that was on the first album, but I completely redid it
All right.
um, because I got hit up by another person who liked my music, and they were like, "Yo, you weren't joking. You actually deleted everything." And it's like, yeah, like why though? Like it was like we loved that song, "The Stale Wine Ruined Lingerie," and I was just like apparently, I don't want to give out too much of their story, because it's their story. I don't know how personal it is to them, but
Mm-hmm.
it sounds pretty personal. Like, according to that person, shout out to them. You know who you are if you hear this. Love you. Um, that song got them closer with like their friends and like people around them, and like that song meant a lot to them. Uh, and like I just felt that I was just like, damn, and it was like, you know what? Let me go ahead before I delete it, take the file, upload it to SoundCloud as a private song, and then I'll send them the link. And whenever they need it, they can just hit me up and I'll send them the link. So that one still exists.
All right. Man, I feel like, oh, sorry. I feel like I already missed out on lore, and I mean, you started this journey around the time we started talking about it, right? Back in like the Square streaming days.
Yeah, yeah, that was late last year. So like about a year from now, I think.
That's what I
A year
get for
ago.
only being on Twitter.
You
What
know
was?
what? No, it's okay. I'm getting more onto Twitter, and I feel like you and I will definitely keep more in touch on that.
Well, sure, I won't miss anything going forward, but I missed a whole two albums before you like resurface. You're like, "Oh, I'm alive. By the way, here's music." I'm like, "Oh, this is happening. There he is." It's only been like a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, you were gonna say something before I rudely interrupted you. My bad.
I was probably just gonna. Oh, I was probably gonna ask what the social media you were on was. Was it Instagram?
I am mostly on Instagram. I am now starting to be a lot more active on Twitter because
That's
even
where
though I
it's
don't have
at.
like a following there like as much, like I've noticed it's different people.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so it pays to be on both. Well, not
Mm-hmm.
literally. I mean, in your case, it might, but not in mine. It's more so like more people might know I exist. I did make an
Yeah,
official King's Kitchen Instagram, but clearly far
dude.
too late because I never, I never.
No, send that to me. I'll follow you, dude. I'll definitely
All
like
right,
blast this. I don't have a following. I'm not gonna get you millions of followers or anything, but like I'll definitely put you on, like for sure, because I do actually like your content.
all
Like I
right,
said,
dope.
I like
Thanks.
to binge, so
Right.
waiting for more episodes to come out. But like now that phase one is done, definitely gonna go through all that.
Dope. And by now, you're actually by the time this comes out, you'd be late to the curve. It's actually going to be on streaming platforms, specifically
Oh,
Spotify to start with. We'll see beyond that. With how RSS works, I think I really only have to pay through one thing, and then I can upload it anywhere where I can upload things. So I should be able to put it in several places. But also another reminder, I believe I said this last episode, the intended way to consume the content is through YouTube. You'll, if you pay attention to the fine details, you'll see why. I will give you no more than that. But I just have it on the other platforms for people who just want to hear the, the base vanilla content, the podcast itself, the real meat and potatoes. So yeah, that's why I'm doing that. Not everybody has to follow the breadcrumbs left in episode 0, but that's the last time I'll mention it.
no, it's not.
Maybe not. I might have said that last episode, but we'll see. We'll see how much of this I even leave in. But
Leave it all in, bro. Raw.
yeah, I just wish I started that Instagram account earlier. The reason I brought it up is it's more so like I wish I hadn't missed this entire phase because I'm super curious and at least like the super depressing album, but now it's like it doesn't exist anymore, so I missed out. It
I might have some files if you're interested. I can dig those up.
Under the
And
table.
I can under the table if they do exist. I can't guarantee anything. I know some of them are gone fully. Especially that first album. That first album is gone. I can probably send you one thing. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. That second album is not 100% gone. My song "Ghosts in the Walls" was originally called "I'm Afraid of Ghosts," and that was on the second album. It was the
Ooh.
first song on there.
Okay.
And that was like the only song that I really, really liked. I was just like, damn, I want to re-record this.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept the beat, I re-recorded it, mixed it better even. So like even though the production quality on it was already good, I made it better and then re-recorded it with like fresh bars. And like I think there's like a mistake or two in there, but I left it in because it just sounded good in a weird way.
Okay. I didn't notice them. I might have to listen a few more times before I find the mistakes, but I did not notice them.
But yeah, that song was on the first album, or the second album, sorry.
All right. Well, we can continue our dealings later behind closed doors, where there are no little thieves trying to get their little fingers all over
Yeah,
the
man.
goods.
Maybe lock them doors and turn the lights down low.
Before I forget, yes, we met in Square's streams where he'd make beats. That was around the same time I was in the same time zone ish area where Bill was doing his stuff. They overlapped. And
Oh yeah,
because Square was more active with that back then. I don't think he does it too often nowadays, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think he's streamed in a while. And
Yeah.
again, neither have I. So.
You did the other day, right?
I did for a tiny bit. I was working on my card game, and then
Oh, you're making a card
I'm
game?
doing that too. I'm making a TCG. That's also a thing. I have some
All right.
friends helping me out on that.
That's
It's
dope.
fun. It's
I've
fun, dude. I love TCGs, but
I've played around with it as a kid, like drawing a few cards or whatever, but it obviously never went anywhere. I'm more so of an idea haver, not a plan. Oh gosh, words today. Not a plan fulfiller, which is why I'm glad that the podcast still exists. Because
it better keep going, homie. This is good content.
thank you, I appreciate that. But that's how we met. We only talked in the chat like once, and then like a few months later we bumped into each other again. It was like literally like at least 6 months later. But then we talked on
Dude,
Twitter for a bit after the first time, I think.
Yeah, I remember how it went too. We were just like, I think we just agreed on something, and it was just like, all right, we're brothers now, and
Yeah.
that was it. Oh, hold
mean-
on, someone's at my door. Give me 1 second.
All right.
Cava a terra, lasciate cavare a terra. Vuol dire, io ho preso il... Io non posso pigliare niente.
All right, I'm back. My bad.
I heard some Italian speak.
That was not Italian.
I knew that.
You can, if you want, you can actually cut out the part where I was like, "Hold on, I'll be right back." Up to like now.
Oh no, it's too late. You missed what I said when you got up.
What did you
I
say?
said I'm totally not gonna edit something in right here.
Oh, word.
None of this. They'll never hear any of this. They'll only hear what I want them to hear.
Fair. Okay. So jumping back into it, we had agreed on something. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was just like, all right, we're brothers now. And then like that just kicked off the whole thing of like we just had like our own little conversation in the chat. Like, and then I think you asked what social media I use, and that's when I had mentioned Instagram. And you were like, I don't have that. I just have Twitter. I was like, all right, I have Twitter too. I don't really use it. And then it just kind of went from there.
Wait,
And then
am I remembering wrong? I could have sworn you made a Twitter account after that conversation.
you know what I think I did? I think I made a Twitter account and I was just like, I'll just make a Twitter account. It's
And
like
your
I needed to anyways.
Your
And then I just
description
started
was
talking to you.
basically, I don't use Twitter. I was like, that's pretty fair. And you had a different icon back then. I think it was like a stick figure or something, or maybe it was the same drawing. I don't quite remember.
It's been the same drawing since day one.
Okay, fair enough.
Which lore on the drawing, I did it not hashtag not sponsored. I did it fully just by taking a picture of just nothing. So like that's about the black background on Snapchat, and then I just drew on it.
Well, there you go. I mean, that works.
It's stupid simple, but it's such a good logo in
I
my
mean,
opinion.
yeah, as long as it's like recognizable and it's your own, then it works. Like,
Yeah.
personally, I think of a bird when I see it, and I like that. So, oh wait, yeah, oh doy,
Probably because
greykrow.
it's modeled after a bird, you know?
Sorry,
that could be it.
I'm very mentally healthy. Anyway,
Oh, clearly, so am I.
anyway, yeah. So but that's the thing about EXO fans, or just I think just friends you meet on the internet through music specifically, is you can just hit it up where you left it off, like literally a year later, and it's like it's just happy reunions. Like there's no
Yeah.
like why weren't you talking to me? There's nothing. It's just like, oh hey, how's life? It's been like a year.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think a lot of that also plays into the fact that like we both, at least from me, and I'm pretty sure you're the same way, we understand that like this person has a separate life.
Yeah, totally. I
And
tried to. Oh, go ahead.
what I was gonna say is like there was never any bad blood. It's not like we ended it with oh man, you're stupid, no you, and you know, it's just like we just stopped talking and
No,
we started
you.
again. No you. But that's just how it was. It was just like there was nothing that we had against each other. We were like in my head we were still cool. We just didn't really
Yeah,
keep up.
totally.
But that's fine, you know, that happens. You can catch
Yeah.
up later.
You'd be. I mean, maybe not, but I feel like some people might be surprised that you can treat like real relationships like that too, like like that in person, especially if they don't live like near you and you don't see them that often. If you don't make a problem, there isn't one. You just like maybe this is like not a phenomenon at all. Like normal people function like this. But I don't know. Like the way my brain used to work when I was a kid, it's like if somebody's not talking to me on a weekly basis, they hate me and they don't want to be my friend. I think this is just something I grew out of at a late age, and I'm just like, hey guys, did you know this is how like social things work?
Yeah, I feel that though. That's kind of how it was with me as a kid too, and I think you just grow out of that, like you said.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to talk about your music in a little more detail, at least the music that still exists on the internet now.
Right?
You said something a little self-deprecating at the beginning I didn't agree with because I have to say there are a lot of people that they hear rap music they like and they make it themselves and it's not necessarily good. Like that doesn't mean they should stop. It means obviously keep going until you're doing something you're happy with. But like you definitely do not fit in that category. Like
Oh,
your stuff sounds good. I mean that.
oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. I
And the
mean
thing is, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I was just repeating myself.
Oh, like it's normally because I have such a negative outlook on myself. I would like try to argue with you or something, but it's just like I literally said it like, not too long ago where my second album and even like bits of my first album had an impact on people. And I think like that's that means
Speaks
something,
for
even if it's
itself.
just yeah. And it's just like maybe I don't have, thousands of followers on Spotify. Maybe I don't have millions of views or listens or whatever it is on like Apple Music, Spotify, whatever it may be. But like there's devotion there.
Right. See, that's the thing, right? People you it's really dangerous getting caught up in the numbers because every single one of those people is a person that thinks what you're doing is cool. And that's awesome. Like just like imagine having 10 people around you that think the project you're working on is cool. That's like 50 people is 50 of those people who think what you're doing is cool. Like there's nothing to scoff at. Like I'm like yeah, that's pretty that's pretty much what I have to say.
No,
Like
like you're completely right though. It's a matter of perspective. You look at it as a number and that number seems insignificant. But you take that number and for each single digit or whatever it is, whatever like take that and turn it into an actual human being and then put that person in like your room or whatever it is you're working on, like whatever location you're working in, and just put it into perspective. Like how you said, even if it's just 10 people, if you're working on music or, anything in your bedroom, take 10 people, like full body, and stuff them into your room. Those 10 people like what you're doing, and it's a matter of perspective.
yeah, yeah, it really is. That was put a little more eloquently, but I liked that.
That's why I'm so eloquently spoken.
There you go. Also, you'd said something on your Twitter about the what did you refer to it as? The electronic stuff? The
Oh, I make 8-bit music, like little like chip tunes and stuff. That I was happy with, so I kept that up.
you're talking
That's
about
staying.
Ghost Signal Volume 1, right?
I am. Go Signal Volume 1. There will be more volumes to it. I plan to have at least 3. I just want to work on my not my first rap album, but I guess
You're
my
you're
first rap album that's gonna stay where it's at.
it's going to continue existing.
Yes, that's what I'm working on currently. Trying to get another album that I'm happy with, where
Mhm.
the production quality is that of my second album, but better, and the variety of it is like how it was in the first album, where I had some depressing, some fun, some goofy, some like more chill stuff. I want to have all of that. So like, yeah, this album that I'm working on now, like from what song did I release? Ghosts in the Walls forward, whatever singles I release, those will be on uh this album. And the only reason the first 2 songs that I had dropped after are not going to be on it is just because those were kind of transitional for me, if that makes sense. They weren't like how to explain this. It's not that I'm not happy with them, but they were done around the same time that I was getting out of the second album
I mean,
versus now
I guess
being
you could
like
say
more
it's
fresh.
part of an era that you don't want to mix with the new one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Yeah,
That
that
would be it.
works. Yeah, well, that's I'm looking forward to that. But before I forget, I was going to highly praise Ghost Signal Volume One because when I heard all the singles and then I stumbled upon this and I'm like, excuse me, because it just completely was something else. And this like really took me on like a little journey, like because I mean when music is instrumental. I feel like at least for me, since you're not focusing on the words, your brain has like the capacity to like create a story behind it or at least like a setting around it more so, right?
Hmm.
And like I've listened through this like several times, just like straight through, because I just love how it sounds. Like this literally sounds like it could be a video game soundtrack, which which is what one of my friends said when I shared it with them, and they also liked it. Um, I've just I don't know what else to say, but I just really liked this a lot. I especially liked Zombie Funk Ultra. Um,
That song was kick ass. I love that one.
I Survived Y2K, which is also like funny. I wonder how many people like today, like our age, like
Know what that
actually know what
means?
that is.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think too many people got that joke or that reference.
I was
I
like,
just
it's super electronic too. Like it's so it's so
yeah.
perfect.
Um, so how you were saying that that sounds like it could be a video game soundtrack, that's actually the way it was structured. The first song on there is
Juicy Gummy Drop Show.
Drop Shop, I think.
I'm stupid. Yes, Juicy
That's
Gummy Drop
okay.
Shop.
So that take that as the intro level, the tutorial level that kind of just before you even hit the main menu, that is what that is. That's the
Okay.
introduction. Sour Honey is the like the hub world slash main menu music. Graveyard Party Crasher is like the first official level. Like, you know, you're sneaking into like a certain not sneaking into, but you're battling your way to get into a location. Zombie Funk Ultra is like the actual location, which in my head is like a casino type deal, the casino level.
Hmm.
Spooky Reaper is like that first major boss battle, which is the next. I'm going in order, by the way. It's that first major boss battle where, and then I survived Y2K. That's where like it's like, okay, you found out that that first major boss battle that was just a puppet. You need, and you're making the plan to actually infiltrate the main bad guys thing, which is Froggy Apple Crunkle Bumpin', or yeah, these are difficult to pronounce, and I made them. That is the actual like infiltration of the base, like the main bad guys thing. My Inner Demon's New Ride is the like final boss, which is why it has so many different transitions and so many. That's the one that has like the
Oh,
most variation to it.
okay.
Cheeseberry Waffles is that like semi end where it's like in my head at least it's that random character that just comes in at the very end. It's just like, hey, congratulations on defeating that boss, but guess what? It doesn't end there, bro. Like there's more to do. And then Birth of a Lonely Ghost, the last song of that album, is that like bonus level in the credits where it's like no rest for the wicked. And then that will transition into the second or Ghost Signal Volume 2. So it is structured in a certain way.
That is dope. I didn't. I mean, I figured like there had to be something. There had to be some story behind this, but that was. I'm so glad we have the lore now recorded and it exists on the internet to be
And this
referenced.
is the place where it will exist. No one else has that recorded. I've never said that before.
Oh, I'm so glad we have something exclusive. You heard it here live, folks.
It is exclusive to the King's Kitchen for sure.
I have to say, and maybe this is because we're a kitchen. Cheeseberry waffles is also on my list of favorites, and then Spooky Reaper. Um, those four, the Zombie Funk Ultra, Spooky Reaper, I Survived Y2K, and Cheeseberry Waffles were definitely like my favorites off of it. But all of it like works well and flows into each other. Um,
I'm glad you liked it, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm hoping that you enjoy my next rap album, and after that, I will definitely be doing Ghost Signal Volume 2, and hopefully you enjoy that as well.
I'm sure I will. Um, but yeah, just like I said before, um, just be like if you're doing something you like, if you're getting into music, just keep doing it until you're happy with it. Like you've seen here with greykrow that he didn't keep his first two, but he also didn't give up. Like
Yeah.
he's still
Yeah.
doing stuff. He just decided, okay, that's not a direction I want to go in, and he just kind of clean slated and started over, and that's completely fine.
Yeah, sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes like if you're not happy with where you're at currently, like you just need to just take a step back and start over. And it's never too late to do that. Like clearly, a year later and I start over.
Yeah, yeah.
2 whole albums later and I start over.
Two albums I didn't even know existed and they're gone. So for me, it's like you really did start over. They're just like
Yeah,
Thanos
no,
snap.
yeah, like it's fully gone and, clean slate. Um I'm kind of excited for this next project that I'm working on cuz again, it's like I'm actually happy with it now. I do plan on releasing more singles from it. I don't know how long this album will be, but as of right now, and if everything goes well, it could be anywhere from 15 to like 20 songs.
All right, all right. It's a doozy. It's got a
So
lot.
it'll be a doozy for sure. And then of course, Ghost Signal Volume 2. And then not only that, but one of my singles that is out, ripping the tag off or rip the tag off a mattress. I don't even know the name of my own song. How dare I?
The name killed me.
Featuring Wicked. Right. Do you know the reference?
Yes, because like people, it's like apparently a federal offense to pull the tag off of a mattress or something, and people don't like joke about what'll happen if you actually do. Or is there like a deeper?
Yeah.
All right,
There's
cool.
that. No, that's the main thing, but it's also just like from just watch Llamas with Hats.
Oh wait, I have watched that all the way through. I don't remember that line.
It's in the boat one. I think it's like episode 2 or something.
I might have to revisit all the that era of stuff,
Yeah.
like Charlie. What was the was it Charlie the
Carl.
Unicorn? Was that the other one?
That's the other one.
And then there was like another one too. I think that was like really unsettling. And that
Yeah,
I
they
might
do
be
a bunch
thinking
of
of.
like really good stuff.
Yeah, that stuff was crazy. Do you remember? Did you see Salad Fingers back in the day?
I loved Salad Fingers. One of my homies got me into that, and it was weird for sure. Like she even told me like, dude, this is weird. Like it's unsettling. I was just like, I can handle it.
Yeah,
And
it
then
is
like sure
weird.
enough,
Rusty Spoon. But
dude, that shit's so weird, but it's so good.
but I love like post-apocalyptic stuff like that. Like the setting was just really cool, and like
The
I love
music was
worlds like
good
that.
too.
I don't remember this music that much, but I remember it like definitely fitting, like setting the mood.
Yeah, it was like just creepy. I think I remember there being music. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I remember there being like a creepy like
Oh, I'm sure there was eerie
music
music.
box, music box sounding stuff. Yeah, and it was like eerie as all hell.
Yeah, yeah, there definitely was. There had to be.
Oh, but what was I saying before I forget? So that song that I did with Wicked Tongue, great rapper by the way. Shout out Wicked Tongue, all one word, all lowercase. He's great. You don't have to put him in the description, but I'm gonna shout him out anyways.
Well, now you're challenging
Um,
me.
okay, go for it. He does like more darker, almost Suicide Boys type rap.
Okay.
Um, he and I don't know how much I'm allowed to say on it because it's still sort of in the works. But he and I are definitely planning on doing a lot more together. Uh, damn, am I allowed to say this?
Listen, I
I
always
feel
say
like
only say as much as you're willing to be incriminated for.
I think
You could always say
just
it, check with him, and then I'll cut it out if he's not okay with it.
nah. I don't think it. How long will it take for this episode to be out? Because I need nah.
Episode
Well,
I haven't even edited 11 yet. You're good.
he and I will say it. Whatever. He and I are planning to start a not a label of sorts, but
Oh, you
another
tweeted about this, I
collective.
think. Right?
That was more a joke,
Oh, okay.
and then I started taking it more seriously, and I was just like, maybe I should start like a label slash like
Collective. I mean,
collective.
obviously it worked for EXO. I mean, you're basically what? That would entail like you do stuff together and you might help each other with like the cost of putting out CDs or something. but it's not like
Right.
a label where you like sell your soul and your rights to make music.
Right. That's essentially what it is. Like we definitely that's what we're working on. I'll say that. I think it's okay for me to say that, especially given certain circumstances that I will not allude to. Like you just have to dig for it. Like whoever's listening to this and is curious, you'll have to dig for it to find out.
We love a good
But
treasure
yeah,
hunt.
yeah, that's definitely there. That exists. We're working on that, and there will be a collaborative effort between Wicked Tongue and I to do more and more music like that. But also, like, it'll have that same like lo-fi ish Grey Crow touch to it, so it'll be cool.
Well,
I'm
that
excited. I'm
is
looking forward.
exciting. Hopefully, I'll be able to leave this in, and if that's the case, you heard it here first. Again, we got two scoops, two fresh
Oh yeah,
scoops.
no, you'll be able to leave that in for sure.
All right, dope, dope. This is great stuff. What was I about to say?
You get two
Oh,
scoops. The
two
two scoop.
scoops, two scoops. Um, you had another collaborative effort that was pretty fire.
Oh,
Yeah. What?
you're talking about the one with Ashido Brown, is it?
That's right.
That's not.
The one and only.
Yeah, the one and only Ashido Brown. I'm not 100% happy with my part on that song because again, it's part of a different era.
Nah, it's good. It's good. But I respect how you feel about it.
Yeah, but Ashido definitely went off on that. Like he definitely tore that shit up. It was good. I was just like, oh my god, that's why I kept it. I was like, I might not be happy with my part, but the way he just his flow and like his lyrics, I was just like, this needs to stay up, like for sure. Shido Brown, like I managed to get a song with him, and it just his part is so good, and I was so disappointed in my part. I'm just like, no, this needs to happen again. So you know what? For my upcoming album, definitely want to have him on that again. I've already talked to him about it, and he seems up for it. So
Do you mind me
looking forward
asking
to that.
how you cross paths with him?
Um, I think it was just Instagram. Like he would do like little Instagram lives and stuff, and like I was one of the people that attended. And like I think what was it? I had songs on SoundCloud at the time, and I had just shown him. I was just like, "Hey, do you mind me showing these to you?" He was like, "Yeah, man, send them through." He was just nice enough to listen to them, and then he liked some of the stuff that I was doing, and he was like, "You know what?" He gave me some advice, this and that, and then this was a long time ago. This was before I even had an album,
Mm.
and then I just kind of like kept that, and like I kept showing up to like his lives, and then not too long ago, it's just like, dude, like, I think he was talking about doing features on one of his lives, and I was like, hey, like, what's up?
Hey yo, over
So you
here.
down or what? Over here, like,
Yoo-hoo.
Egumi. But yeah, no, definitely. I hit him up and like I showed him the beat, and I was like, are you down with this? And he liked it enough, and he's like, yeah, just do your part. That way I can kind of rebuttal off of that, right off of what you went with. And then sure enough, like he killed it. He definitely killed it. That is a letter to my future self,
Hey,
available now on most streaming platforms. Grey Crow featuring Ashido Brown. That was really cool. And, I'm excited to do it again with him for sure.
that's dope. And hey, if that's not validation that you're doing something right, I don't know what is. So keep that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Show that to
Yeah,
yourself whenever you're doubting.
for real. You're right. You're right. Damn, I never looked at it like that, actually. I honestly never looked at it as like a sense of validation. Holy hell. Oh,
I mean, he
damn.
had to look at your verse and say, "Yeah, I can work with that." So like, he would have said something if he couldn't. He would have been like, "Hey,
That's
maybe
true.
change this thing, change that thing," but he went with it.
Yeah, that is true. I never looked at it like that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course, of course. Listen, we only speak the truth here in King's Kitchen.
Yes. Speaking of, when are you gonna hop on a beat with me? What's up?
Uh, it when I finally commit to doing music. It'll happen. It'll happen.
It'll happen. You heard it
I've
here first.
you
3 scoops.
three
The third
scoops.
scoop.
I am. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I am in conversation with someone who is willing to work with me through the very beginning steps of production. So, definitely gonna do some experimenting before I make anything I'm actually gonna put out. So we'll see. We'll see. It could be a bit. I'm not gonna front with you guys. It could be a little bit. Could be this year. It'll probably be next year. I didn't mean this year. Next year. Um, but I'm at least gonna start trying some things out around the New Year's time. So it won't be forever. And now I have to because I said it on a podcast. That's how the
Now you
universe
have
works.
to. That is how it works. You now owe it to all of your listeners,
Um,
present, past, and future.
you know what? Actually, you get a bonus detail for dragging me out of the shadows here. There, I do see music in the future of the person of King Cook. I do see it. I see it as part of the story I'm telling. So,
That's
um,
what's up.
should happen. Should happen.
I will definitely look forward to working with you more because like I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but like you definitely have like you have like a voice that just works well and like I can see it working like really well with what you're doing currently, the podcast, and music wise. Like I feel like rap definitely like you can just hear it in certain people's voices where it's just like, yeah, this person would be good at this. With just a little bit of, flow or whatever, like you can definitely make it work. Like I can hear it
All
being a
right.
thing.
Well, I don't know how to judge that, let alone judge myself, but I appreciate that.
For
We'll
sure. I
we,
will say,
we'll find out.
go ahead.
I do. I rap things. I haven't written anything that I've rapped yet, but I mess around with the karaoke stuff. It exists on the internet, but I'm not making it easy for you guys anymore. You're gonna have to search for that one. But uh, yeah. If I'm, it'll happen. It'll happen. I'll leave it at that.
Definitely. And I will say this for anyone out there who's listening, and even for you who's considering going into music and now actually because you said it on a podcast has to go into music.
Right.
Um, when it comes to judging your own voice, take a huge like step back, I guess you could say, and forget that it's your voice because you're not going to like the way you sound. You're just not. I hate with a burning passion the way that I sound on anything that I do. That's why in my first album, I did the most to not sound like myself, and that's what made that album really bad. Just kind of, it's going to be tough, but you're going to have to just forget that that's you and just pretend you're listening to someone else.
So the
Because,
the middle ground between being yourself and also not acknowledging that it's you.
yeah, it's rough, dude. Especially like me, because I have such a negative self-image. Just like I hear anything that has my voice in it, and I'm just like, ugh. Like even this, like I'm gonna end up hearing this podcast episode, and I'm gonna listen to it, and I'm gonna hear myself, and I'm gonna be like, ugh, that's me.
Listen, I
And
I might have. Oh, go ahead. Finish.
no, it's just like, and I'm gonna hate it.
So my advice might be different. Maybe it's just the way my brain works. I got used to it by just listening to it over and over because obviously when you're editing a podcast, say if you record for an hour and a half, you're going to be listening for a lot more than an hour and a half when you're working on it. So that got me over hearing my voice in a podcast. I think I got over that by like episode 1 or 2. With the music, like when I was messing around with like the karaoke cover stuff, I just had to keep listening to it over and over for me to get used to it. And I think it helps me hear like understand how my voice sounds better because you know how like if you just exist in a world where you don't like hearing your own voice and you keep not listening to it, when you do hear it, you're like, that doesn't sound like me. If
Yeah.
you're listening to it enough, I don't know, it almost sounds like it does sound like the same voice to me, but I think that's just because I maybe my brain has gotten to the point where it understands, okay, I'm hearing this, but this is what it actually sounds like. But it almost sounds like the same voice to me now. Like, I mean,
I'm starting to get there.
there you go. See, we get there. It's just a matter of repetition. At least in my, I mean, everybody, for in the case of everything, different things work for different people. You just got to find out what yours is. Try, disassociating it from being you, and then also maybe try just over flooding yourself with listening to your voice, and then you're like, that exists. It is a reality. I cannot change it. That's what happened with me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. I think taking both of those honestly and combining it works. Like that's kind of like just a thing. Like I just kind of started accepting like, okay, that's my voice. And like, having to listen to it over and over again, mix and master it, like it's sort of the same thing where it's just like, okay, like but I still because of my like again, my negative self image, I have to sort of disassociate from time to time. Just be like, okay, that's not me. It's not me. Just it's somebody else. Just try to get it to sound quality. Don't worry about it sounding too gross to you. Just worry about quality.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes when I hear myself in those karaoke covers, I'm like, you know what? I like how this sounds more than the original. Because I'm the one that did it exactly how I want it to sound. That's I mean, obviously karaoke advice is different than making
That's a
your own
flex.
music.
No,
But
but that's still a flex.
sometimes I'm just like I would rather listen to my own covers of this than the original. It's not necessarily because I think it sounds better, but I get this like I don't know if cathartic's the word. But I get not cathartic, maybe euphoric. I don't know.
I don't even know what that means.
I get this feeling out of recreating something well, and music is like the most satisfying way. I literally have a piano to recreate music I hear, not to actually like teach myself actual like notes and chords and stuff like that. I learn enough to recreate songs I want to do, which will allow me to do like piano covers of things at some point, like not complicated ones, but like simple ones where I sing over them. I can do a couple songs like that, just a couple. But it's just I get this feeling out of it. This like I don't know if adrenaline rush is it, but like maybe dopamine. I don't know. I like the feeling of recreating a sound, especially. So sometimes, like, if I hear myself in the third person doing it, it's like, look, oh my gosh, I did it. I don't know how else to describe it, but maybe if you've never tried karaoke before, try doing it on your own first, and then do it in real life. Because doing it in real life, once you get like, if you're with a group of friends you like, karaoke is so much fun. Like, I actually got this shock treatment the first time though because I did it in an actual restaurant.
Oof.
Yeah. My the friend group that introduced me to it, they liked tricking me into things because I was a naive little high schooler. Um,
Mm.
and they'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna go do this thing," and then it's like kind of what they said, but not entirely. So like, yeah, we're going to this restaurant. So we walk into this store, and it's like a bunch of like Mexican cultural food and snacks. It's like a convenience store. And then in the back of the convenience store is a Mexican restaurant. And in the back of the Mexican restaurant is a karaoke stage. And I was like, what is happening? And they basically tried to trick me into doing it on my own. And they did actually, because one of them, I was like, listen, I'm not going up there unless one of you goes too. I know you like Riptides by Vance Joy. We're doing this. And he said, okay. And then we get up there, the music starts, right? The singing doesn't start, the music starts, and he says, I have a confession to make. I say, what? He says, I only know the chorus.
Mm.
So I just had to go for it. It was just me in front of a group of strangers. just a complete shock treatment, shock therapy, and it like at first it was nerve wracking. Like there was a video, um, and like I kind of was like nervously like like you like tap your foot. I was kind of doing that, but the crowd ended up like clapping along, and it just turned into something fun. And I was like, this is great. Like I love this, and now I love doing karaoke.
Dude, we gotta, you know what? I know you and I live in two completely different time zones, so we probably live hella far apart, but I gotta do that with you one day.
Bro, someday, yeah. Once I'm like, I have like a fully functioning, very adulty life, I will be able to plan things like such and make them happen.
Same. Same, because I'm right there with you. Legally I am an adult, but physically, or at least not necessarily physically, but like around me, the situations around me are not very adult-ish just yet.
That's fair. That's fair.
But hey, you know what? Hopefully the music shit kicks off. Because apparently I somehow have fans. It's crazy, but I do. And hopefully I'll be able to perform live shows. I know it's going to be an absolutely terrifying experience, but if I perform a live show and it just so happens to be in your area, I will definitely hit you up, dude. And be like, yo, come through.
Definitely.
Let's do some karaoke.
If it's anywhere on the East Coast, it'll be worth letting me know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll talk about it when the time comes.
Which hopefully soon.
Yeah, that'd be dope. The sooner the better. I mean, not for
Absolutely.
my situation, but like the sooner the better that you blow up.
Yes, yeah. No, even the sooner the better for you as well. That hopefully
Of course.
you also get more traction.
I'm
'Cause,
just a pessimist with how long I think it'll take for my life to get where I think it needs to be before I can do certain things. But well, all things come in due time.
right, and like I can't argue with you on that pessimistic outlook because I'm sort of the same way.
You don't
In a
say.
weird, yeah.
Could have fooled me.
But like over time, you just sort of learn to just be like, all right, being pessimistic, it's not been helping me at all. So you know what?
Doesn't
Even
do
if
you any
it's just
favors.
yeah, even if it's just complete bull, I'm gonna tell myself, or it feels like complete bull. I'm gonna tell myself in the mirror, you're gonna make it big one day, and you gotta point at yourself and like poke your own chest in the mirror, even though you're kind of poking your own finger. But you get what I'm saying, and you gotta like
Slap yourself
sometimes you just
around a
gotta
little
get in,
bit.
yeah, you gotta slap yourself around a little. Like it sounds weird, but like that's what helped me out. Just being like fully physical with myself and just being like, no, stop being like this.
Knock some
Like
sense into yourself.
you really do have to. Like you really do. And you know what? If you can't do that, find a homie that supports you, that will do it for you, that will slap the taste out of your mouth and get you to like yourself a tiny bit more.
Get yourself a
Like
Kevin Malone. That's all I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, exactly.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Oh, that burp came out a little nastier, but yes, I know who you're talking about.
Good, because I wish I everyone needs a Kevin Malone in their life.
They do. They really do. It's no, like it really like that's the thing. Like you say that and it's almost like a joke, but it's fully true.
He keeps it
It really is.
honest when he has to, but like also when you do something cool. I mean, yeah, he's honest, and he
Yeah.
hypes you up when you do something cool.
Yeah, exactly. You need that. And sometimes if you don't have that, you got to be your own Kevin Malone.
You gotta be this is the takeaway from this podcast. Be your own Kevin Malone.
Yeah. Honestly, yes. Just fully 100%. If you're doing something, you know, yo, if you love what you're doing, even if it doesn't sound good to you right now, it'll get better.
Just commit. Just don't give up.
Yeah, just commit to it. Like even yourself, I don't know if you said this on the podcast or while we were testing it, but like your audio quality has improved.
Yes. Partially from software, partially from just getting an actual mic.
There you go. And like that's sometimes all it takes, man. Sometimes it's a small step, but like you add those small steps together, and I'm sure that like by the time you hit episode like 20 or 25 and 30, like it's just going to keep improving.
I hope so. Well, we're always gonna keep that analog-ish sound. We like sounding a little low fidelic here,
Absolutely.
but you know, overall quality. That is the plan to get better. Hopefully.
Yeah, well that's the thing. Like lo-fi itself, it's it's a really cool and like interesting dance between having quality and the lack thereof. Like that lo-fi sound, like that's the cool part about lo-fi because it's like it sounds bad in the name, you know, it's supposed to low fidelity, but it sounds good.
Oh yeah. Gosh, there was. Oh, gosh, when I was in community college, there was a time of my life where lo-fi was like a crutch. like like I listened to so much lo-fi. Like I have a playlist that whenever I turn it on, I immediately like transport back to like the nights that I spent taking the bus to and from like calculus on my campus. Cause like I had like a late night class and like I'd stay there all day and then afterwards I'd take my class and then I'd take the bus home in the dark afterwards. Like when I hear that playlist, it literally just transports me back. Lo-fi has like this amazing ability to just fit the like if the mood I don't know it melds to whatever mood you attribute to it. Usually it's
Right.
melancholy, which most of mine were, but lo-fi is just something else. There's nothing quite like it.
Right. No, fully agree to that. And like aside from that melancholy, I feel like lo-fi also contributes to a sense of peace. Cause like
Yeah,
you were listening to that and maybe in that moment you weren't exactly feeling the best, but that emotion that the lo-fi shares with you, well maybe this isn't the case for you, but at least for me, it sort of helps you feel less alone because the music itself is like it matches and it's like okay, this music, this sound, it understands me, and you find peace in that.
I think it is something like that. For me, any music that and for some people this is unhealthy. A lot of people don't share this trait with me. I'm sure a lot of people do though, where exhausting the emotion is sometimes a healthy way to like deal with it. Like if you're really I don't know, if you're really angry about something and you listen to like Linkin Park then for a while and just like like not ignore the emotions, like let them happen, then like I don't know, it kind of lets you get to like a point of entry where it's like, okay, I'm acknowledging that I feel that, and that's that. And it just kind of like it doesn't disappear per se, but it just kind of mellows out. And lo-fi
Yeah.
is really good for that, with like especially like depressing moods. It's almost like
Oh
you
yeah.
said, like the music understands you. It's like this like some like a person behind this made this thing and it feels very attached to the emotion I'm feeling. And it's like it's helping me express it almost.
Exactly. It's sort of doing like some of the work for you when it comes to like how you said acceptance. It's helping you get through that. And maybe music isn't like that for everyone, but from what I can tell, it's sort of the same thing for both you and I, where it's like it is that like weird sort of secondhand expression of what you're currently going through.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's beautiful. It really is. Music's great, dude. That's why I got like so into it, and that's here I am doing music now.
Yeah. My gosh, there was a time of my life where looking back, I'm just like, how was his palette of music so small? Like I listened to what was on the radio, and beyond that, it was just Owl City's one album that Fireflies was on, and like some Imagine Dragons. But like beyond that, it was just like what's on the radio. And there's nothing wrong with music that's on the radio. I found one of my favorite artists who's not like a mainstream artist, John Bellion, through the radio. I like AJR. I found them through the radio. I mean, I have mixed feelings about their progression. It just kind of seems like a flat line sometimes, but I do like them as like a general basis. Um, but yeah, just now, I don't know what it was. I think it was this one summer. This was actually like this was when it happened. Like my quote unquote like musical transformation was my supervisor for the crew I was on. He made a playlist for the crew. We were all in high school. He was an adult, and he made a playlist. He said, "All right, everyone can add their music to it." And I didn't necessarily like all the stuff I heard from other people, but like it definitely like taught me to uh, find appreciation in other types of music at the very least. Like I listened for things that I liked in it, and not just thought, oh, I don't listen to this genre, therefore I don't care. I like actually was like, okay, let's listen for like things I can appreciate in it. Like I can see what they're going for in this song, even if I don't necessarily vibe with it that much. And it makes it makes finding new music more successful. I think that was also when I downloaded Spotify and just went full send, and never came back. And
It's a wonderful feeling, though.
even though Spotify's I've heard is and read they're a little shady with compensating their artists, I cannot give up. It is a drug and I am addicted to it.
Um, Spotify, when it comes to compensating artists, me being someone who is an artist on Spotify, um, I'm just happy that I get the chance to be on such a big platform.
Hmm.
It'd be nice if we got compensated a little bit more. I will say it's like, I think every 4 listens that you get, 4 to 5, maybe 6 even, it's like a single penny.
That's better than what I heard. I'll put it like that.
No, because like I've sort of almost proven it because I've looked at like how many listens I had like from day one to what I currently have, and I was just like, okay, yeah, it's like a cent. I think back then when Spotify first kind of started, like this is new. The whole like every listen is like a fifth to a sixth of a cent.
Mm.
This is sort of new because before I started, I know it was like every listen is like a 20th of a cent or something like that.
Oh wow.
And now, because like I think when I had roughly 4,000 total listens or streams, I had about like $11 or so. And like I
Okay.
kind of did the math. It was a little off, but like yeah, it sort of rounded out. Like if I rounded it up, every 4 listens was like a penny.
Okay. All right.
But
Well,
that's sort of excluding Apple Music, Tidal, all that other stuff, Amazon Music.
mhm.
Because I mainly promote my Spotify, not really my Apple Music so much. I am on Apple Music, but like I don't really promote it because I myself don't have it.
Fair enough.
But like yeah, from that it was like 11, $12 or so. And I was just like, all right, so it's roughly in that ballpark.
Yeah. I mean, one good thing about Spotify is that they in theory and in design, there's it should help new artists be found. Like if you listen to any kind of music like similar to something like a new artist is making, it should in theory recommend them to someone. So it could be helpful. Also, it's just a platform so many people listen to that it's like if you tell someone, yeah, I'm on Bandcamp, if you don't already use Bandcamp, what are the odds you're gonna go download it to like listen to you, right? So like being able to exist in a space that a lot of people already use is like a privilege in and of itself, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even though again, might not be the best place to get paid per se, but like I think actually I've checked like some of my statistics on like Spotify, and like you can kind of check where people listen from, and I think like 31% of my streams, which isn't a lot because I don't have a whole lot of streams, but like a good like third of my streams come from like Spotify's own algorithm.
Well, let's see. It's doing something. That's good.
It is doing something. So maybe the compensation isn't necessarily in terms of money, but in terms of like at least a little bit of exposure. And the great thing about it too, if you're not entirely in it for like the money,
Oh,
that
well,
means more
right.
to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And that's how I am. Like, don't get me wrong, getting paid, great. Love getting paid. But
I don't
I
know.
also,
It kind of sucks.
yeah, sometimes it does, honestly. Like imagine working and then getting paid. Sucks.
Yeah. Okay. What world are you living in?
I know, exactly. But yeah, like I actually like when people, it doesn't happen terribly often, but I do like the more genuine connections versus the cash, I guess. Like I like
Yeah.
that, people hit me up and be like, yo, I like your music and stuff. And like it just feels good. It's like, yeah, I'm doing something and people are actually digging it. You're always gonna have your haters, of course. Not too long ago I actually posted a little video. I was getting sick and my voice is already starting to go, but I was like, okay, let me post this before my voice just completely goes. I posted a video of me rapping and I had asked for advice. I was like, should I put more energy into it? Should I put less? And some dude said that it sounded like trash because I was rapping like an over feminine girl. And I'm just like, that's your only reason? Like in my head, I didn't really respond. I'm like, that's your only reason why I sound like trash? I'm like, dude, that's my voice. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah. See, that's
And I
another
was,
thing with like your own voice is guess what? Everyone has different opinions. There might be people who don't like your voice. I've met people and I've just thought in my head, wow, I don't like your voice. That doesn't mean you shouldn't keep going. Some people just aren't going to. Like,
right.
imagine if you let that go to your head. Like, maybe you did, but like, imagine if it let you really let it get in your head.
Right, right. No, fortunately for me, I took that and was like, okay, I'm definitely not taking your advice because the only reason you told me to put less energy into it is because you think I sound like a girl, which by the way, not exactly a bad thing because it's just like, okay, there's plenty of girls that are out there that are like really good at rapping. I'm not going to shout anybody out because like they're not currently here or anything like that, and I don't want to shout out too many people. But like I've heard, people who are girls. I've heard people that are non-binary do like music and stuff, and it's just like their voice is definitely a little different. Probably not what you're used to, but it works. Like it's there, and it works. So I'm just like, all right, I'm not taking your advice, my guy. So thanks for your comment, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was funny too. It was sweet because another complete stranger came in and was just like, man, fuck you, leave him alone, stop hating. I was just like, yeah, get him.
Yeah, there you go. See? Yeah. But moral of this entire episode is don't give up just because it gets hard or you don't like how one thing you did sounded or how it turned out. Just keep trying until it works. Because you'll be much like if it doesn't work out, do you want to look back and think I tried as best as I could, or do you want to look back and think, wow, I gave up before I even had a chance to see if it would work? Because it's gonna be one of those two things, or it's gonna be the third scenario as it works out and you're happy with it, which can look
Yeah,
different depending on what it is.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, it is that third scenario for whoever wants to get into it. That's the only thing I can really hope for other people.
More likely than
But
not,
like,
if it's something you're gonna put time and energy into and be willing to learn from others about and experiment with, it's gonna work out.
yeah, absolutely. I'm slowly starting to like my own voice, so I'm just going with it. Which, by the way, even though that person said low energy, I decided to go full opposite and just like I'm gonna put more energy into it. I'm gonna sound more like a female. Screw it.
Well, there you go. So King's Kitchen is officially taking all the credit for you coming to terms with your own voice. We already had talked to our lawyers. You can try to lawyer up if you want, but good luck.
Um, I accept your challenge. I'll see you in court.
All right. My
No hard feelings
lawyer
though, right?
will be in touch. Oh, of course not. This is not
Yeah.
personal.
Okay.
This is about the money.
Yeah, it's strictly business. I completely understand. But yeah, dude, I'll see you in court, and we'll grab lunch after. I might cuss at you in court, but like,
But
that's
we'll
just
hug it
our.
out though. We'll hug it out.
Yeah, we'll hug it out off camera and stuff. We'll hug it out for sure. Maybe
Yeah.
kiss even. I don't know. Hold
I
hands.
mean, maybe
Um,
kiss.
my kiss.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure having you. This was a great conversation. We are really starting off phase 2 strong. So,
I'm glad to be a part of it. Like this is gonna go down in history
yeah, man.
for
We got
sure.
so many scoops. We have the legal rights to you liking your voice. Like,
No,
King
we're gonna. I mean, again, well, you have it as of now, but we'll
as
see
of
how the court
now.
date
Yeah,
goes
lawyer up.
for sure.
But thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure.
Dude, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It was cool. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely went into it a little nervous, but after those few test runs, went a little. I
See,
definitely calmed down.
there's just something about my energy that makes people realize this is just a conversation.
It really is, and that's what helps out a lot. And I appreciate that about you, man.
Thanks. I didn't even really feel that when I said it, but then you validated it, so I guess it's true now.
No, it's true. It's true. Like you have that voice, dude. You got it, bro. Like you really do.
Maybe I'll start exploring this power.
Um, if you're gonna abuse it, only abuse it a little bit, and then let me know if you make profit off of it because I gave you the idea. I sort of have the legal rights to
Oh
you abusing your
gosh.
power. Uh,
Well, we'll talk about this. Maybe we can settle things.
no, I think we're gonna have to lawyer up on that one as well. That's gonna be a different court date. But again, no hard feelings. We're gonna have to hug it out. Maybe kiss.
Okay.
Um, a little bit. We have to use tongue though, otherwise it's
Uh,
gay.
Goodbye.